Now to the Pennsylvania mother who stands accused of buying some of the weapons her son may have intended to use in a Columbine-style school attack. NBC's Ron Allen has details.
Michelle Cossey fought back tears as she left court. She faces felony charges for allegedly buying 3 weapons for her 14-year-old son, Dylan. Weapons that are part of an arsenal found in the boy's bedroom. Rifles, handguns, at least 3 live grenades, violent books and DVDs. The boy is being held in juvenile detention after allegedly planning a Columbine-like attack at a local high school. Authorities say his mother bought him the most deadly weapon, a semi-automatic rifle.
I don't think she had anything to do with planning this attack, but by virtue of her indulgence, she enabled him to get into this position.
Not far away, Lou and Teresa Bennett, the parents of a teen who broke open the case.
He came down from his playing video games and
just said I need to talk to you.
us.
And we could tell by the look on his face that it was serious and important.
Their son said he'd been recruited to help carry out an attack. The family told police who found the weapons, perhaps stopping a disaster. The Bennetts said they always felt uneasy about Dylan Cossey.
A bit of a preoccupation with guns, you know, things that make a red flag, but you're not really sure of what is going on.
Authorities do not believe an attack was imminent because they found no ammunition with the weapons. They say the Cossey boy has a disturbed mind, severe psychiatric problems. His parents took him out of school 18 months ago, police say, after he complained of being bullied. Now this community is relieved he never returned to carry out his plan, and many can't believe his parents let things get this far. For today, Ron Allen, NBC News, New York.
Joining us now is Bruce Castor, Jr., the district attorney for Montgomery County. Bruce, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Lester.
We heard the term indulgence a moment ago. Does that fully explain why Mrs. Cossey bought the weapon?
Well, obviously, getting inside somebody's mind is always a difficult thing. It seems reasonably clear based on the available evidence that the parents knew this boy was severely mentally insufficient or deficient, that he was a social outcast, that he was very sad in his life, and they didn't know how to deal with that. He wanted these weapons, so they let him have it, not realizing, of course, that his mind had gotten to the point where he might have crossed over from fantasy into reality and tried to carry out some of those threats.
So in no way are you alleging that she was aware that he may have harbored intentions to do harm to others, and certainly a Columbine-style attack?
No, I don't think so. I think that these parents were as shocked as anyone else that their son was involved in planning this sort of thing. I mean, obviously they're not going to win any parenting awards, but I don't think that they were criminally complicit in the staging of the attack or planning the attack.
All right, let's move from his parents to Dylan himself. He was taken out of school over a year ago, was homeschooled because he had suffered some bullying. How far along, what do you know about this plot?
Well, I know a good deal about it, but I can't really say, since it's a juvenile case. I'm sort of limited in what the facts are. So what I have been doing is giving my impressions. My impressions are that the plot was developed in his own mind and mapped out in his own mind, but there was no set date that it was going to happen. I do not think that it was imminent. I think he was still in the planning stage, and it may be that he was not going to carry it out at all, but it may be that he was going to carry it out. So, you know, when you're analyzing this, you have to analyze it first in the context that he's 14 years old and therefore is mentally not fully developed ordinarily, and then you have to add that he's clearly emotionally and psychologically disturbed. That affects his reasoning ability as well.
Right. And Mr. Castor, we've seen time and time again where people have not spoken up and horrible things happen. In this case, there was a young man who became privy to this conversation, and then he did step forward. What can you tell us about how this came to light?
Well, this boy is certainly a hero, and this is part of a broader plan that we have in place here in Montgomery County. We had a school shooting back in December of '06 where somebody went in and shot up a school and then killed himself. Didn't hurt anybody. That shocked everybody in the community. As a result of that, I put together a committee of police chiefs, members of my office, Sheriff Durrani, and people in the school safety business, and we hammered out a plan that went out to all the school districts just this past July, Colonial School District, where this occurred, is one of the places that fully implemented many of the suggestions, one of which was to work closely with police to constantly advise children that any rumors they hear, anything at all that might possibly be relevant to possible violence, they're supposed to go to the police to overcome the natural reluctance to get involved or to be a snitch or any of these sorts of things. In this case, that is exactly what happened. And we stopped what could have been a serious incident, and I'm very, very proud of the boy, his parents, the Plymouth Police, and the White Marsh Police.
All right, well, District Attorney Bruce Castor, Jr., thanks so much for coming on and talking about this. We are obviously very thankful that nothing happened in this case, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lester. Good morning.
All right.